Olivia watched as Earth disappeared from the screens. The ship moved faster than anything she had ever experienced. Stars blurred around them. Her stomach felt strange but not sick. "Where are we going?" she asked Lysithea. "Away from your world," the alien princess replied. Her thoughts appeared in Olivia's mind without sound. "The Voidborn must not find Earth. Your people are not ready for them." Olivia looked at the screens showing the dark ships following them. "What are they? Why do they want to hurt us?" Lysithea's face grew dark. "The Voidborn are ancient, older than my people, older than yours. They do not live as we do. They consume. Consume what? Life, consciousness, worlds." Lysithea moved her hands over the control panel. "They take all living things and turn them into fuel for their vast mind." Olivia tried to understand. "Like a hive mind? All connected?" "Yes, but empty of joy or love or beauty. They seek only to grow, to consume more." Lysithea looked at Olivia. "My people, the Nadari, have fought them for millions of years. We protect life wherever it grows." The ship shuddered. One of the screens showed energy beams coming from the lead Voidborn ship. "They're shooting at us," Olivia said. "Yes, but we are faster. For now." Lysithea worked the controls. "I need to show you something." She led Olivia deeper into the ship. They entered a room with a large statue in the center. The statue showed two figures standing side by side. One was clearly Nadari, like Lysithea. The other looked human. More than that, it looked like Olivia. "What is this?" Olivia asked, her voice shaking. "A record of the cycle," Lysithea said. "In every age, the shield-bearer and the princess stand against the Voidborn. Sometimes we win. Sometimes we lose. But the cycle always turns again." Olivia stared at her own face carved in stone. "That's impossible." "Your soul has lived many lives, Olivia Reeves. As has mine. We find each other again and again." Lysithea touched the statue gently. "The memories are inside you, sleeping." "I don't believe in past lives," Olivia said. "What you believe does not change what is true." Lysithea turned to her. "I can help you remember. If you allow it." Olivia hesitated. Everything was happening too fast. Yesterday she was a normal space pilot. Now she was on an alien ship, running from monsters, being told she was some kind of reborn warrior. "Why should I trust you?" she asked. "Because deep down you already do." Lysithea held out her hand. "Let me show you." Slowly, Olivia reached out. Their fingers touched. The world exploded into light. Images rushed through her mind. A battlefield under strange stars. Herself, but not herself. Dressed in armor she didn't recognize. Lysithea beside her, her skin glowing with power. Dark shapes moving toward them, fighting, dying, then darkness. Another flash. A different world. A different body. But the same soul. Meeting Lysithea again, this time in a forest of crystal trees. Joy of recognition. Then the Voidborn finding them again. Battle, pain, darkness. Again and again. Different times. Different places. But always the two of them, finding each other, fighting together, dying together. Olivia pulled her hand away, gasping. That wasn't real. It was. Lysithea's eyes were sad. "We have lived and died many times, you and I. The cycle continues. Why? Why does this keep happening? Because the war never ends. The Voidborn always return, and we are the ones chosen to stand against them." The ship shook again, harder this time. Alarm sounded. "They're getting closer," Lysithea said. "We need to reach my sister's fleet. She commands our forces." "Your sister?" "Celine, she leads our warriors. Our ship is fast but not made for battle. We need help." They returned to the control room. The screens showed 5 Voidborn ships now gaining on them. "Can we fight them?" Olivia asked. "This ship has some weapons, but not enough." Lysithea looked at her. Unless what?" "Unless you remember how to use them." Lysithea led her to a different part of the control room, a section that looked like a weapons station. "In past lives you were a great warrior," Lysithea said. "The weapons of my people responded to your touch. If you can remember." Olivia looked at the strange controls. They meant nothing to her. "I don't know how." "Try. Place your hands here." Lysithea guided Olivia's hands to crystal panels. Olivia felt nothing at first. Then slowly, a warmth spread from the panels into her fingers. Images formed in her mind. Not past lives this time, but knowledge. How the weapons worked. How to target. How to fire. Her fingers moved on their own. The ship hummed. On the screens, energy beams shot from their ship, hitting one of the void-born vessels. It broke apart. I did that? Olivia stared at her hands. You remembered? Lysithea smiled. The shield-bearer returns. I don't understand how I knew. Knowledge lives in the soul, not just the mind. Lysithea pointed to the screens. But we're not safe yet. The remaining void-born ships changed formation. They spread out, trying to surround Lysithea's ship. They're adapting, Lysithea said. They learn quickly. Olivia felt knowledge continuing to flow into her mind. Her hands moved over the weapons controls with growing confidence. She fired again, damaging another void-born ship. We need to get to your sister, Olivia said. Where is she? Beyond your solar system. We must make a jump soon. Lysithea worked her own controls. But we need space. The void-born are too close. Olivia looked at the screens. She saw Jupiter ahead of them. An idea formed in her mind. Knowledge from a past life, perhaps. Head for Jupiter, she said. I have a plan. Lysithea changed course. The huge planet grew larger on their screens. What are you thinking? Lysithea asked. Jupiter has strong gravity. If we skim close to it and then accelerate away... Olivia's hands moved over the weapons controls, making adjustments. We can create a gravity slingshot. And maybe something more. The ship raced toward Jupiter. The void-born followed. Olivia charged the weapons but didn't fire. Closer, she told Lysithea. Get as close as you can. Lysithea guided the ship toward the massive planet. Gas clouds swirled below them. The ship shook as gravity pulled at it. Now, Olivia shouted when they reached the closest point. She fired the weapons, not at the void-born ships, but at Jupiter itself. The energy beams hit the gas giant's atmosphere. A massive storm erupted. At the same time, Lysithea accelerated the ship away, using Jupiter's gravity to fling them faster. The void-born ships following too closely were caught in the storm. Lightning bigger than Earth itself flashed around them. 2 more of their ships broke apart. How did you know to do that? Lysithea asked as they sped away. Olivia stared at her hands. I don't know. It just came to me. The memories are returning, faster than I expected. Lysithea checked the screens. 2 void-born ships left. And they're falling behind. Good. Olivia felt suddenly tired. Her head hurt. I need to rest. Of course. Lysithea led her to a small room with something like a bed. Sleep, I'll wake you if there's danger. Olivia lay down. The bed adjusted to her body, more comfortable than it looked. Lysithea, yes? If what you showed me is true. If we've lived and died many times, how does it end? Lysithea's face grew sad. It hasn't ended yet. That's why we're still here. But there must be a way to stop the cycle, to defeat the Voidborn for good. There are prophecies, stories, about a final cycle. Lysithea touched Olivia's hand gently. Some say the shield-bearer and the princess will one day find a way to break the pattern, to end the war forever. Is this that time? Olivia asked, her eyes growing heavy. I don't know, Lysithea admitted. But something is different this cycle. You're remembering faster. The connection between us is stronger. I feel it too, Olivia whispered as sleep began to take her. Like I've known you forever. In a way you have. Lysithea smiled. Rest now, shield-bearer. We have a long journey ahead. As Olivia drifted into sleep, more memories came. Not as violent flashes this time, but as gentle dreams. Lives lived. Battles fought. And always Lysithea at her side. Different bodies, different worlds, but the same soul. The same connection. And somewhere in those dreams a hint of something new. A possible ending that wasn't just another beginning. A way to break the cycle once and for all. Olivia Reeves sat alone in her small spacecraft. The control panel lights blinked in the darkness around her. She was on a simple mission. Check out a strange object that had appeared near Earth. Space Command had seen something unusual on their screens and sent her to look. Just get close enough to see what it is, her boss had told her. Take pictures. Don't take risks. Olivia nodded and did what she was told. She was good at her job. She had been flying space missions for 7 years. Nothing scared her anymore. The strange object grew larger on her screen. It wasn't like any spacecraft she had seen before. It was black and smooth, like polished stone. It seemed to swallow the light around it. Strange lines glowed across its surface, forming patterns that hurt her eyes if she looked too long. Space Command, this is Reeves, she said into her radio. I can see the object now. It's Not one of ours, static answered her. She tried again. Space Command? Do you copy? More static. Something was blocking her signal. Olivia checked her instruments. Everything on her ship worked fine. The problem must be coming from the strange black ship. She should turn around. That would be the smart thing to do. Go back to base and report what she saw. But something about the black ship pulled at her mind. A feeling. A whisper. Like it was calling to her. This is crazy, she said to herself. But her hands moved on their own. She guided her ship closer. As she approached, something changed on the black ship. A line of light appeared, then widened. A door was opening. It was an invitation. Or a trap. Olivia's training told her to stay away. But the strange feeling grew stronger. She had to know what was inside. She lined up her ship with the open door and carefully moved forward. The door was just big enough for her small craft to fit through. Inside was a landing area, empty and lit with the same strange glowing lines. The air seemed safe to breathe according to her instruments. The door closed behind her. There was no going back now. Olivia put on her spacesuit anyway. Better safe than sorry. She grabbed her gun and flashlight, then opened her ship's door. The air felt warm on the exposed parts of her face. It smelled like nothing she had ever known before, like electricity and flowers. Her boots made soft sounds on the floor as she walked. The walls were the same black material as the outside, with the glowing lines making shapes and patterns. She followed a hallway that seemed to lead deeper into the ship. The hallway ended at another door. This one slid open as she got close. Olivia raised her gun just in case. The room beyond was large and beautiful. It looked like someone's living space. There were things that might be furniture, made from what looked like crystal, strange objects that might be art hung on the walls. In the center of the room was something like a pool. The liquid in it glowed with a soft blue light. And in that pool stood a figure, turning toward the door where Olivia stood. Olivia's flashlight beam landed on the figure. It looked like a woman, but not quite human. Her skin shimmered with colors that moved like oil on water. Her eyes had pupils that were not round, but long up and down. She had no hair, but her head was beautiful, with patterns that seemed to move across her skin. And she wore nothing at all. She had stood up in surprise when Olivia entered, liquid dripping from her body. Olivia froze. The alien woman froze too. They stared at each other for what felt like forever. Olivia noticed that despite being different, the alien was beautiful in a strange way. Her body shape was similar to a human woman's, but with subtle differences. Her skin seemed to glow from within. The alien's face showed surprise. But there was something else there too, like she knew Olivia somehow. Then the strangest thing happened. The alien spoke, not with sounds, but with words that appeared directly in Olivia's mind. "I've been waiting for you," the voice said in perfect English. Though your timing leaves something to be desired. Olivia almost dropped her gun. She took a step back. "You can speak? You know English?" "I know many things," the alien replied in Olivia's mind. "Including who you are, Olivia Reeves. How do you know my name?" Olivia kept her gun pointed at the alien, but her hand shook. "We have much to discuss." The alien made a gesture with her hand, and suddenly she was covered in something like clothing. It looked like fabric made from light itself, flowing around her body. "I am Lysithea, princess of the Nadari Stellar Dominion. What are you doing near Earth?" Olivia demanded. "Are you planning to attack us?" Lysithea laughed. The sound was like music in Olivia's head. "No, I came looking for you." "For me? Why?" "Because it was foretold. You and we have met before. Many times across many lives," Olivia shook her head. "That's impossible. I'd remember meeting an alien. Not in this life. But your soul remembers. That's why you felt drawn to my ship. That's why you came inside when your training told you not to." It was crazy. It had to be. But something deep inside Olivia whispered that it might be true. How else could she explain the strange pull she had felt? "Why me?" Olivia asked. "What's so special about me?" "You are the shield bearer," Lysithea said. "And I am the princess. Together we stand against the darkness. We have done so many times before." "What darkness?" Lysithea's face grew serious. "The Voidborn. They hunt me across the stars. They hunt you too, though you don't know it yet. And now that we have found each other again, they will come." As if on cue, an alarm sounded. Strange symbols lit up on the walls. Lysithea's face showed fear for the first time. "They found us sooner than I expected," she said. "Your arrival has changed things. Who's found us? Olivia asked, but she already knew the answer. The Voidborn, the Eaters of Worlds, the ancient enemy. Lysithea moved quickly to what seemed to be a control panel. Her hands moved over the crystal surface. They're coming for us both. I don't understand any of this, Olivia said. You will. In time, you'll remember everything. Lysithea looked at her with eyes that seemed to see through her. But first, we must survive. Screens appeared in the air around them. They showed space outside the ship. Dark shapes were appearing from nowhere. Ships bigger than any Olivia had seen before. They looked wrong somehow, their shapes hurting her eyes. They'll destroy your world if we stay, Lysithea said. We must lead them away from Earth. Olivia thought of home, of the billions of people who had no idea what was happening above them. How do I know I can trust you? Lysithea held out her hand.
You don't, not yet.
But deep down your soul knows me. As mine knows you. Olivia looked at the alien hand, then at the screens showing the threatening ships. She made her choice. She took Lysithea's hand. The touch sent a jolt through her body like electricity but not painful. Images flashed in her mind. Stars, battles, different bodies, different lives. Always the two of them together against something terrible. What was that? Olivia gasped. The beginning of remembering, Lysithea said. Now hold on. We're leaving. The ship hummed around them. On the screens, Earth grew smaller as they sped away. The dark ships followed, and Olivia Reeves, who had only wanted to be a good space pilot, found herself flying away from everything she knew, toward a destiny she couldn't remember but somehow couldn't deny. Olivia woke with a gasp. Her dreams had been full of battles and strange worlds. She sat up, half expecting to be in her small apartment back on Earth. Instead, she saw the crystal walls of Lysithea's ship. It hadn't been a dream after all. The door slid open. Lysithea entered, her skin glowing softly in the dim light. You're awake, the alien princess said in Olivia's mind. Good, we're approaching Saturn. How long did I sleep? Olivia asked, standing up. Her body felt different. Stronger somehow, 6 Earth hours. Not long. Lysithea handed her something that looked like food. Eat. You need strength. The food was strange, a soft cube that tasted like nothing Olivia had ever eaten before. But it filled her with energy. The Voidborn, she asked between bites, still following but farther behind now. Your trick at Jupiter worked well. Lysithea led Olivia back to the control room. But they've called for help. More ships are coming. The screen showed Saturn ahead, its rings beautiful against the blackness of space. 2 dark spots moved behind them, the remaining Voidborn ships. And at the edge of the screen, more dark spots appeared. How many? Olivia asked. At least 10 more, Lysithea said. Including a dreadnought. A what? A very large warship. Much more powerful than the others. Lysithea's face was grim. We cannot outrun it forever. Olivia felt fear, but also something else. A strange calm. Knowledge continuing to flow into her mind from lives she couldn't fully remember. Show me the weapons again, she said. Lysithea brought her to the weapons station. This time, when Olivia touched the controls, the knowledge came faster. Her hands moved with confidence. I can slow them down, she said. Maybe even destroy a few more. But you're right, we can't fight them all. Especially not a dreadnought. We need to reach my sister's fleet, Lysithea said. But we need more time. Olivia looked at Saturn on the screens. Another idea formed in her mind. The rings. We can use them. How? Saturn's rings are made of ice and rock. Millions of pieces, from tiny dust to chunks as big as mountains. Olivia's fingers moved over the controls. If we can disrupt part of the ring, create a field of debris, Lysithea finished. Yes, that might work. They guided the ship toward Saturn's beautiful rings. The Voidborn followed, gaining slowly. There, Olivia said, pointing to a dense part of the rings. Can you get us close? Yes. Lysithea steered the ship down into the rings. Ice particles hit the ship's hull, making soft pinging sounds. Larger rocks appeared on the screens, and Lysithea guided them skillfully around each one. Get ready, Olivia said, her hands on the weapons controls. When I fire, accelerate away as fast as possible. Lysithea nodded. Olivia took a deep breath, aimed the weapons, and fired. The energy beams hit a large chunk of ice in the rings. It exploded, hitting other chunks which hit more in a chain reaction. A wave of debris spread out behind them. Now, Olivia shouted. Lysithea pushed the ship to full speed. They shot forward, leaving the expanding cloud of ice and rock behind them. The Voidborn ships following their path flew straight into it. On the screens, they watched as the smaller void-borne ships were hit by countless pieces of debris. One exploded. 2 more spun out of control. It worked, Olivia said. But then the dreadnought appeared. It was huge, shaped like a black cathedral with spikes and towers. The debris bounced off its hull without causing damage. The dreadnought is too big, Lysithea said. Too strong. The massive ship fired a beam of dark energy. Not at them, but at Saturn's rings. The debris field froze in place, then gathered together, forming a clear path. It's controlling gravity itself, Lysithea whispered, making a path for the other ships. The remaining void-borne vessels followed the dreadnought through the cleared path. They were gaining again. We need a new plan, Olivia said. Lysithea checked her controls. We're almost at the jump point. If we can hold them off for just a little longer. The ship shook as energy beams from the closest void-borne ship hit their shields. Shields at 60%, Lysithea reported. Another direct hit will drop them lower. Olivia fired back, hitting the void-borne ship. It slowed but didn't stop. How much longer to the jump point? She asked. 10 minutes, Lysithea said. Maybe less if I push the engines harder. Do it. Lysithea pressed her hands firmly on the controls. The ship surged forward. The engines made a high whining sound that Olivia could feel in her teeth. The engines aren't meant for this, Lysithea warned. We risk burning them out. Better than being caught, Olivia replied. She fired the weapons again, keeping the closest void-borne ship at bay. But the dreadnought was still coming. It fired another beam, this one hitting their ship directly. The whole vessel shook violently. Lights flickered. Shields at 30%, Lysithea said. One more hit like that. Olivia looked at the weapons controls. An idea came to her. Not from past lives this time, but from her own knowledge. Her own experience, the weapons, she said. They draw power from the same source as the engines and shields, right? Yes, Lysithea confirmed. The core powers everything. What if we redirect all power to the engines? Everything. Weapons, shields, life support. Just for a minute. Lysithea's eyes widened. That would give us a huge burst of speed. But we'd be completely vulnerable, and the air system would shut down temporarily. Can we hold our breath long enough? Yes, my people can go without breathing longer than humans. But I'll be fine, Olivia said. For a minute? Do it, Lysithea hesitated, then nodded. Prepare yourself. On my mark. Olivia took several deep breaths, filling her lungs with air. Lysithea's fingers danced over the controls. Now, Lysithea said. The lights went out. The air stopped moving. The ship fell silent for a heartbeat. Then the engines roared with new power. The ship leaped forward with such force that Olivia would have fallen if she hadn't been holding onto the control panel. On the screens, the void-borne ships fell behind rapidly. Even the dreadnought seemed to shrink as the distance between them grew. Olivia's lungs began to burn. Spots danced in her vision. Just when she thought she couldn't hold on any longer, the lights came back on. Air rushed from the vents. She gasped, filling her lungs. It worked, Lysithea said, also breathing hard. We've reached the jump point. The screens showed the void-borne ship still following, but far behind now. The dreadnought fired again, but the beam fell short. Preparing for jump, Lysithea said. Her hands moved quickly over the controls. This will feel strange to you. What exactly is a jump? Olivia asked, still catching her breath. We move through subspace, a place between normal space. It lets us travel great distances quickly. Like hyperspace in science fiction? Lysithea smiled. Similar, yes, hold on. Jump in 3, 2, 1. The stars on the screen stretched into lines. Colors Olivia had never seen before swirled around the ship. Her stomach felt like it was turning inside out. Her head spun, then everything stopped. The screen showed normal space again, but the stars were in different positions. Saturn and the void-borne ships were gone. Where are we? Olivia asked. Far from your solar system, Lysithea said. In what you might call the Orion arm of the galaxy. My sister's fleet should be nearby. She checked the sensors. Her face fell. What's wrong? Olivia asked. They're not here. Lysithea worked the controls frantically. The fleet is gone. Could they have moved? Yes, but they should have left a beacon. A message. Something. Lysithea's skin pulsed with what Olivia now recognized as worry. I fear something has happened. Olivia looked at the screens. Are the Voidborn still after us? Not yet. The jump would have thrown them off our trail temporarily. But they'll find us again. They always do. So what now? Lysithea was quiet for a moment, thinking. There is a Nettery outpost not far from here. We can go there, try to contact my sister. Is it safe? Safer than staying here in open space. Lysithea set a new course. But first, the ship needs repairs. The jump with damaged engines has caused problems. As if to emphasize her point, the ship shuddered. Some of the lights flickered. Can I help? Olivia asked. Yes. Lysithea led her to a different part of the ship. The core needs balancing. They entered a chamber deep in the ship. In the center floated what looked like a small star, contained in a crystal cage. It pulsed with energy. That's your power source? Olivia asked, amazed. Yes. A quantum entanglement core, very powerful but delicate. Lysithea pointed to control panels around the room. The jump disrupted the balance. We need to stabilize it. She showed Olivia what to do. Together they worked to adjust the core. As they did, Olivia felt more memories surfacing. She had done this before in another life. Her hands remembered the patterns, the sequences. You're a natural, Lysithea said, watching her work. Not natural, remembered. Olivia smiled slightly. I still don't fully believe all this past live stuff, but I can't deny what's happening. The memories will continue to return, more completely with time. When they finished, the core glowed steadily again. The ship's system stabilized. That should hold until we reach the outpost, Lysithea said. Thank you. As they walked back to the control room, Olivia asked the question that had been bothering her. Lysithea, if we've lived and died so many times, what's the point if we always lose in the end? The alien princess stopped walking. Her eyes met Olivia's. We don't always lose, she said softly. Sometimes we win battles, save worlds, give life a chance to continue. The ship moved quietly through space. Olivia stood at the weapons station, learning everything she could from Lysithea. Her hands moved over the controls with growing confidence as more memories surfaced. The Nadari weapons don't just destroy, Lysithea explained. They can also create, heal, protect. How is that possible? Olivia asked. They work with the basic energy of the universe, the same energy that makes stars burn and life grow. Lysithea guided Olivia's hands. You can shape that energy with your intent. Olivia focused on the crystal panel under her fingers. She thought of protection, of a shield. The panel glowed blue. On the screens, a bubble of energy formed around the ship. I did that? She asked, amazed. Yes. Lysithea smiled. The shield bearer was always more than just a warrior. You were a protector. Something beeped on the control panel. Lysithea checked it quickly. We're approaching the outpost, she said. It should be visible soon. The screens showed a small moon orbiting a gas giant. As they got closer, Olivia could see structures built into the moon's surface. They looked like crystal towers and domes, similar to the material of Lysithea's ship. Is that it? She asked. Yes. One of our smaller outposts, but it should have communication equipment. We can try to contact my sister. As they approached, Olivia noticed something strange. The outpost was dark. No lights showed in the towers and domes. That's not right, Lysithea said, her voice worried in Olivia's mind. The outpost should be lit. She slowed the ship, scanning the moon. I'm not detecting any power signatures, she said. No movement. No life signs. Could they have abandoned it? Olivia asked. No, not without leaving a message. Lysithea's skin pulsed with concern. Something's wrong. They moved closer, cautious now. The ship's sensors swept the outpost. There, Lysithea pointed to one of the screens. Damage to the main dome. And the power core is offline. An accident? Lysithea's face hardened. No, look at the pattern of damage. It was an attack. Olivia saw it then. The marks of energy weapons. The precise hits to critical systems, the Voidborn? She asked. Yes. Lysithea checked more readings. The attack happened recently. Within the last Earth Day. Are there survivors? I don't know. I'm not detecting life signs, but the sensor range is limited with our damaged systems. Lysithea made a decision. We need to land, check for survivors, and the communication equipment might still work if we can restore power. They approached a landing pad near the main dome. The ship settled down gently. Through the viewports, Olivia could see the damage up close. Walls torn open. Crystal structures melted and broken. The air is breathable, Lysithea said, but cold. We'll need thermal gear. She provided Olivia with something like a suit, thin but surprisingly warm when she put it on. Lysithea wore one too, though Olivia suspected the alien didn't really need it. Stay close to me, Lysithea said as they prepared to exit the ship. We don't know if it's safe. The ship's door opened. Cold air rushed in. Olivia followed Lacethea onto the landing pad. The gravity was lighter than Earth's, making her steps bouncy. The silence was complete. No wind on the airless moon. No sounds of people or machines. Just emptiness. They walked toward the damaged dome. Inside, they found signs of a desperate fight. Burn marks from weapons. Equipment destroyed. But no bodies. Where is everyone? Olivia asked, her voice sounding too loud in the silence. Taken, Lacethea said grimly. The Voidborn don't leave the dead. They take everything. Why? To feed their collective. Every mind they absorb makes them stronger. They continued through the outpost. The damage was extensive but specific. The Voidborn had destroyed the power systems, defense networks, and communication arrays. They knew exactly where to hit, Olivia observed. Yes, they've studied us for millions of years, as we've studied them. Lacethea led them to a central chamber. This is the backup power core. If it's intact, the core was damaged but not destroyed. Lacethea examined it carefully. I can get it working, she said, but I'll need your help. Together, they worked to repair the power core. Olivia found that her hands knew what to do, guided by memories of past lives. The work was delicate and complex, but somehow familiar. After an hour, the core hummed to life. Lights came on throughout the outpost, dim but steady. Good, Lacethea said. Now for the communication array. They moved to another chamber filled with crystal structures that Olivia guessed were communication devices. These were more heavily damaged. Can you fix them? She asked. Not completely, but maybe enough to send a simple message. Lacethea began working on the devices. It will take time. As Lacethea worked, Olivia explored the nearby rooms. She found living quarters empty now. Personal items left behind when the attack came. It must have happened quickly, giving no one time to escape. In one room, she found something unexpected. A wall covered with strange symbols. Not like the writing she had seen on Lacethea's ship. These were older, cruder. Lacethea, she called. Come look at this. The princess joined her, studying the symbols. The ancient language, she said. I haven't seen it written like this in a very long time. What does it say? Lacethea traced the symbols with her fingers. It's a prophecy, a very old one. About us? The shield-bearer and the princess. Yes, Lacethea's voice was soft in Olivia's mind. It speaks of the final cycle, when the eternal war might end. How? It says, when the shield-bearer remembers all, when the princess trusts completely, when two become as one. Lacethea hesitated. The void will be filled and the hunger will end. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Prophecies are never clear. Lacethea stared at the symbols, but it confirms what I felt. This cycle is different. Important. A beeping sound came from the communication room. They hurried back. One of the crystal devices was glowing. It's working, Lacethea said. But we don't have much power. She placed her hands on the device, focusing. The crystal glowed brighter. I'm sending a message to my sister's fleet. Just our location and a distress call. Her face showed strain. There, it's sent. Will she receive it? I don't know. It depends on where she is. How far? Lacethea removed her hands from the device. All we can do is wait. The backup power core hummed, growing fainter. The lights dimmed further. The core is failing, Lacethea said. We have maybe an hour before it shuts down completely. Should we return to the ship? Olivia asked. Yes, but first. Lacethea moved to a storage area. We should take supplies, food, water, anything useful. They gathered what they could find. Strange food packets, tools, medical supplies. As they worked, Olivia felt a growing unease. A prickling at the back of her neck. Lacethea, she said suddenly. Something's wrong. The princess stopped looking at her. What do you mean? I don't know. Just a feeling. Olivia turned slowly, scanning the room. Like we're being watched. Lacethea checked a device on her wrist. Her face paled. You're right. Energy readings. Coming from orbit, they rushed to a viewport. In the black sky above, dark shapes were appearing. Ships. Not Nadari ships. Voidborn. They found us, Lacethea whispered. We need to leave, now. They ran back to their ship, carrying what supplies they had gathered. The landing pad was exposed, open to the sky. As they crossed it, energy beams struck the ground near them. The Voidborn ships were firing from orbit. Run! Lacethea shouted in Olivia's mind. They sprinted the last distance to their ship. The door opened as they approached. They tumbled inside as another energy beam hit where they had been standing moments before. Lysithea rushed to the controls. The ship hummed to life. More energy beams struck around them, shaking the landing pad. "Hold on," Lysithea said as she guided the ship upward. Olivia moved to the weapons station. On the screen, she could see 3 void-born ships in orbit. Smaller than the dreadnought they had escaped earlier, but still dangerous. "Can we fight them?" she asked. "Not all 3. Not with our damaged systems." Lysithea accelerated away from the moon. "We need to run." The void-born ships gave chase. Energy beams lanced out, most missing, but one grazing their shields. "Shields at 50%, Lysithea reported. "We can't take many hits like that." Olivia targeted the closest void-born ship and fired. The beam hit, but the ship kept coming. "Their shields are too strong," she said. "I'm trying to reach the jump point," Lysithea said, "but they're blocking our path." The 3 void-born ships spread out, forming a net to catch them. Olivia fired again, trying to create an opening. The ships adjusted, closing the gap. "We're trapped," Lysithea said. Olivia looked at the weapons controls. The memory of something came to her. A tactic from another life. "The energy modulation," she said. "We can change it." "What?" "The weapons. They expect a certain energy pattern. If we change it..." Olivia's fingers moved over the controls. "There, try now." The weapons fired again. This time the beam looked different, rippling with patterns that hurt the eyes. It hit the nearest void-born ship, passing straight through its shields. "The ship broke apart. It worked," Lysithea said. "The other ships will adapt quickly," Olivia warned. "We only get one more shot like this." She targeted the second ship and fired. The modified beam hit, destroying it too. But as she prepared to target the third ship, the weapons panel went dark. "Power failure in the weapons system," Lysithea said. The modified beam used too much energy. The remaining void-born ship closed in. It fired, hitting their ship hard. The vessel shook violently. Days passed on the ship. Olivia lost track of exactly how many. She and Lysithea worked together to repair what damage they could. The weapons system remained offline, but they managed to restore shields to 70%. The hull breach was properly sealed. Life support worked well enough. During this time, more memories surfaced in Olivia's mind. Not in violent flashes now, but as gentle waves washing over her while she slept or worked. She remembered other lives, other battles, other moments with Lysithea. "We were on a world with 3 moons once," she said as they shared a meal of strange Nadari food. The sky was purple. The trees sang when the wind blew. Lysithea smiled. "Thalaxia. Yes, I remember. We had 5 years of peace there before the Voidborn found us." 5 years. Olivia considered this. "That's the longest we've ever had, isn't it?" "Yes, usually it's much less." Lysithea's face grew sad. "Sometimes only days. What would you do?" Olivia asked. "If this ended? If we broke the cycle? If there was no more running?" Lysithea looked surprised by the question. I don't know. I've never considered it possible." "Try," Olivia urged. "What would you want?" The alien princess was quiet for a long moment. "I would want to see all the beauty in the universe, not as a fugitive always looking over my shoulder, but freely. I would want to help life grow. To see worlds bloom." She looked at Olivia. "And you? What would you want?" Olivia thought about Earth, about her small apartment, her job as a space pilot. It all seemed so far away now. Another life entirely. "I'm not sure," she admitted. "Everything's changed so much. I don't know if I could go back to my old life even if I wanted to." "You wouldn't be the same person," Lysithea agreed. "You are remembering too much now." A light flashed on the control panel. Lysithea moved quickly to check it. "A signal," she said, excitement in her voice. "It's Nadari." Olivia joined her at the controls. "Your sister?" "Yes, she received our message. Her fleet is nearby." Lysithea worked the communication controls. "I'm responding now." They waited anxiously. After a few minutes, a reply came. Lysithea read it, her face lighting up. "She's sending ships to meet us. They'll be here within hours." Relief flooded through Olivia. "So we're safe?" "Safer," Lysithea corrected. "With my sister's fleet, we stand a better chance against the Voidborn." They prepared the ship to rendezvous with the Nadari fleet. Olivia felt a strange mix of emotions. Relief at the thought of safety, excitement at meeting more of Lysithea's people, and unease, something nagging at the back of her mind. A memory trying to surface, Lysithea, she said slowly. In our past lives, did we ever reach your sister's fleet? The princess stopped what she was doing. Sometimes. Not often. And when we did, what happened? Lysithea's skin pulsed with colors that Olivia now recognized as discomfort. It varied. Sometimes we found temporary safety. Sometimes, the Voidborn found us anyway, Olivia finished. Yes. Lysithea turned to face her fully. What are you thinking? I'm not sure. Just a feeling. Olivia tried to grasp the memory that was eluding her, something about this cycle being different. About the prophecy. Before Lysithea could respond, an alarm sounded. Red lights flashed across the control panel. What is it? Olivia asked. Lysithea checked the sensors. Her face paled. Voidborn signatures. Many of them, including the dreadnought, Olivia said. She could feel it somehow. A dark presence approaching. Yes. Lysithea worked the controls frantically. They're between us and my sister's fleet, blocking our path. How did they find us so quickly? I don't know. They shouldn't have been able to track us through the jump. Lysithea looked up, her eyes wide. Unless what? Unless they're tracking something else. Not the ship. Lysithea looked at Olivia. Us. The connection between us. The screen showed the approaching Voidborn fleet. 5 smaller ships and the massive dreadnought, all moving directly toward them. We can't fight, Olivia said. Not without weapons, and we can't outrun them. Not the dreadnought. Lysithea's voice was grim. We need to reach my sister's fleet. Olivia studied the screens. The Voidborn fleet was forming a blockade between them and where Lysithea's sister waited. There was no way around. How much power does the core have? She asked suddenly. About 80%, Lysithea said. Why, the jump drive? Could we make a short jump? Just past their blockade? Lysithea considered this. Maybe, but it would be dangerous. Short jumps are hard to calculate. We could end up inside a planet. Or a star. But it's possible? Yes, technically. Olivia made a decision. Do it, calculate a short jump. Past their blockade. As Lysithea worked on the calculations, Olivia went to the ship's core chamber. The small star pulsed in its crystal cage, steady but not as bright as it had been. I know you're tired, she whispered to it. But we need one more jump. The core seemed to pulse brighter for a moment, as if responding. Olivia placed her hands on the control panels, making small adjustments. Balancing the energy flow, Lysithea joined her. The calculations are ready. But Olivia, there's a problem. What? The core has enough power for the jump. But the containment field is weak. When we jump, the stress could break it. And what happens then? Lysithea's eyes were serious. The core would destabilize. Release all its energy at once. An explosion? Yes, a very big one. Olivia thought about this. Another memory surfaced. A plan from another life. A desperate gamble that had failed. We've tried something like this before, she said. Haven't we? Yes, Lysithea admitted. 3 cycles ago. We attempted to destroy a dreadnought with our ship's core, but the timing was wrong. They detected our plan and escaped. And we died. Yes. Olivia looked at the core, thinking hard. But what if that's not the real plan? What if there's another way? What do you mean? The prophecy said, when 2 become as 1, the void will be filled. Olivia turned to Lysithea. What if it's not about destroying the Voidborn? What if it's about changing them? Lysithea stared at her. How? The Voidborn consume consciousness, right? They absorb minds into their collective? Yes. What if we gave them something they couldn't absorb? Something too different, too powerful. Olivia took Lysithea's hands. Us, our connection. Our shared consciousness across cycles. Understanding dawned in Lysithea's eyes. The quantum resonance between our souls. It's what they can't understand. What they've always feared. Yes. That's why they hunt us in every cycle. Not just to stop us from fighting them, but because they fear what we represent. But how do we use that? Olivia looked at the core. The quantum entanglement core works by connecting different points in space-time, right? Yes. And our souls are connected across time. Across cycles. Olivia squeezed Lysithea's hands. What if we connected ourselves to the core? Used it to amplify our resonance? That's never been done before. Lysithea looked shocked. It could destroy us. Scatter our consciousness across all of space-time. Or it could finally break the cycle. Olivia felt certainty growing within her. This is it, Lysithea. This is what all those lives were leading to. Not an endless war. Not destruction, but transformation. The ship shook as the first shots from the Voidborn fleet hit their shields. We don't have much time, Lysithea said. The shields won't hold for long. Will you try? Olivia asked. One last time together. Lysithea looked into her eyes. In that moment, Olivia felt the full weight of their shared history. Countless lives. Countless deaths. Always together. Always fighting the same enemy. Yes, Lysithea said finally. One last time. They worked quickly, modifying the core's containment field. Lysithea knew the theory. Olivia's memories supplied the rest. The ship continued to shake as more shots hit the shields. Warning lights flashed. Shields at 30%, Lysithea reported. We have minutes at most. Finally, the modifications were complete. 2 crystal chairs now stood on either side of the core, connected to it by glowing filaments of energy. Are you ready? Lysithea asked. No, Olivia admitted with a small smile. But when have we ever been? They sat in the chairs. The crystals seemed to mold to their bodies, holding them securely. Lysithea reached across the core and Olivia took her hand. Whatever happens, Lysithea said, finding you has always been worth it. Every time, Olivia agreed. Lysithea activated the sequence with her free hand. The core began to pulse faster. The glowing filaments brightened, connecting to their bodies. Olivia felt energy flowing into her, through her, connecting her to Lysithea in a way beyond the physical. In her mind, the barriers between lives began to fall. She remembered everything. Every meeting, every battle, every moment with Lysithea across thousands of years and hundreds of lives. The ship shook violently. The shields were failing. The Voidborn were closing in. They're coming, Lysithea said, her voice sounding distant despite her being right there. The dreadnought is preparing its main weapon. Let them come, Olivia replied. It's time they understood. The core pulsed brighter, faster. The energy flowing between them grew stronger. Olivia could feel Lysithea's consciousness merging with her own, not losing herself but expanding, becoming more. On the screens, they could see the dreadnought moving into position. Its main weapon, a dark vortex of anti-energy, began to form. Now, Olivia and Lysithea said together, their voices in perfect harmony. The core flashed blindingly bright. The ship disappeared in a burst of pure quantum energy. Not an explosion, but a transformation.